The Foolish Tortoise by Eric Carle. Eric Carle is the author. He's the person that thought of the words for the story. Over the next few weeks, we're going to read some stories by Eric Carle. He's written many children's books. He's one of my favorite authors. I bet you can tell the letter that tortoise starts with. Right, the letter T. That's our letter this week. Can you hear the T sound? Tortoise. Good job. In this story, we're going to listen for some rhyming words. We're going to find out what some new words mean. And we're going to figure out the sequence of events. You've heard that word before, sequence. Do you remember what it means? It means the order the events happened in the story. The order of what happened. Let's figure out what the sequence of this story is as we read along. The Foolish Tortoise. A tortoise tired of being slow, impatient to get up and go. Did you hear the rhymes? Slow, go. Right. Impatient. That's a new word. That means he's having a hard time waiting. He doesn't like being so slow. Took off his large and heavy shell and left it lying where it fell. Hooray, he cried. Now I've been freed. I'll see the world at double speed. He took off his shell. He thinks he's going to go at double speed. What do you think that means, double speed? Right. He would like to go a little faster. Okay, let's see what tortoise does. Though faster, he was not express, and his protection was far less. So when he heard a hornet's drone, the tortoise crept beneath a stone. Can you see the tortoise? He's under the stone. It says, though faster, he was not express. Does that mean, is tortoise fast or is he still slow? He was not express. Right. It means he's still a little bit slow, probably faster than with his shell, but still not very fast. But his protection, he doesn't have his protection. He left his shell behind. So he's a little afraid of that hornet. A hungry bird came swooping past. He looked so fierce and flew so fast. The tortoise hid behind some trees and felt quite weak behind the knees. Can you see? Tortoise is hiding behind the tree. He said that the hungry bird looked so fierce. What do you think fierce means? Right, does it mean dangerous? It said that he was hungry. So tortoise is a little bit afraid. What comes next in our sequence? Let's talk about the sequence so far. We know that tortoise left his shell behind. He hid from a hornet and a bird. I wonder what's going to be next. Will there be another animal? Let's find out. I don't feel safe. There's too much risk. If only I could be more brisk. He headed for the riverbed. A fish swam up. The tortoise fled. He says, if only I could be more brisk. If only he could be faster? Probably. He's a little afraid of that fish. Here's the riverbed. That's the land that's right next to water. That's called a riverbed. The tortoise fled. Right. He ran away as fast as a tortoise can. Along his way, our hero went and almost had an accident. A snake with open jaws slid near. The tortoise backed away in fear. Let's talk about the sequence. Tortoise left his shell behind. He hid from a hornet, and then he hid from a bird. He ran away from a fish, and now he's backing away from a snake. I wonder what's next. A hare, a hound, a horse raced by. So rapidly they seemed to fly. The tortoise gasped, sat goggle-eyed. I'll never be that quick, he sighed. So he's not running away from them, but he is thinking, I'll never be that fast. Oh, how he would like to be fast, like a horse, a hare, and a hound. What's another name for a hare? Right, a rabbit. How about a hound? You got it, a dog. He would like to be as fast as them. I don't know that he'll ever be. He wandered on, the sun rose high. I wish I had more shade, he cried. A sudden thunderstorm swept in and soaked the tortoise to the skin. Now what happens? He wishes he had what? His shell. The sun was so hot, he wanted to have some shade. His shell would give him some shade. And then there was a thunderstorm. And he got soaked. That means he got so wet. Would he have stayed dry if he had his shell? Probably. So let's go back to our sequence. We know that tortoise left his shell behind. He hid from a hornet and then a hungry bird. He ran from the fish. He backed away from the snake. Now he's facing the hot sun and the wet rain. Oh boy, poor tortoise. What's next for him? The wind rose up, and soon the breeze was bending branches in the trees. The tortoise shivered. Now I'm cold. I wish I hadn't been so bold. Poor tortoise, what's happening now? He's so cold, isn't he? From the wind. Can you see tortoise? He's so cold. He wishes he had his shell. So first it was the hot sun, then it was the wet rain, now it's the cold wind. Oh, poor tortoise, what's next for him? He wishes he had his shell. I think I've lost the urge to roam. I think it's time that I went home. Without my shell, I don't feel right. So when his shell came into sight, he sees his shell. What do you think he's going to do? I think so too. Is he going to go into his shell? He climbed back in and said, "Good night." He looks much happier being back in his shell. He just wanted to be the way he was. He had to go through a lot of experiences to realize he's pretty happy the way he is.